Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Kenzie. If you did not know that, then now you know. And you guys, today we're doing a different type of video. I'm going to be sharing with you my experience with trying to sell at Vestiaire Collective. If this is your first time ever seeing me, then hello, I'm so happy to have you. My name is Kenzie. I make a lot of videos about luxury handbags, luxury fashion, travel, jewelry, but mostly handbags. I like those a lot. Today we kind of have like a story time, drama-ish video, but if any of that sounds fun to you, if you like the idea, then I would ask you to consider clicking the subscribe button and give this video a like, and ding a little bell down there so you're notified every time I upload. And you guys, without any further ado, let's get on into the video. So, yes, I did attempt to sell with Vestiaire Collective and I had a pretty bad experience overall. I just want to start off by saying this. I'm not trying to drag Vestiaire Collective or anything like that. I know loads of people sell on their app and on their website and they've had great experiences. I'm just sharing my own personal experience and what I found to be really unprofessional and what I found to be just really difficult to deal with as someone that sells luxury pieces. And I have just decided that I'm no longer going to be selling with them. I'm just going to stick to Poshmark and eBay and a couple other places that I sell through. Yeah, again, please don't contact Vestiaire Collective or send any kind of hate their way, because I'm sure this was just a one-off experience. I'm sure a lot of other people have great experiences. This was just my experience and I just wanted to kind of share what happened. So yeah, let's just get started. I did sell my green Chanel classic flap on Vestiaire Collective, and you're looking at me probably going, what do you mean? You have it right there with you. You said you sold it. I did. In my opinion, with my view on the situation, it was Vestiaire Collective's fault for the fact that this sale didn't work out. So I now have my green Chanel classic flap back, and I don't have screenshots and stuff for any of this. A lot of people like receipts and stuff, but I don't have that just because I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't predict any issue happening, because I've sold on Poshmark and eBay numerous times and I have never ever had an issue. Never had a customer complain. I've never had the Poshmark authenticity people tell me something was wrong. So never had any problems. I didn't think to take a screenshot or to get to get receipts or whatever. This is just my experience with it. So just take everything with a grain of salt, I guess. They went through inspection and all of that. So it was inspected by somebody. So let me just start off from the beginning here and then we'll get into the rest of it. So when I initially put this bag for sale on Vestiaire Collective's app, I basically copy pasted it because I had it already listed on Poshmark and eBay at the time. And I just copy pasted the description that I had on Poshmark and eBay. Of course, you have to put in the serial number that's inside of the bag. So I did all that and I put in the description, the exact same thing that I had on Poshmark and eBay. And two things specifically that I had on there was the fact that I purchased this bag from Luxury Promise in 2022, because I wanted people to know that I wasn't the original owner. This is obviously a vintage handbag. I wanted people to know where I got it from, because the dust bag that they were going to receive, all the authentication stuff inside the bag, the authenticity card, all of that stuff came from Luxury Promise. So I wanted them to know where the bag came from, which was Luxury Promise, right? So if they received the bag and they got a Luxury Promise dust bag, and if I didn't, declare that, if I didn't state that, then they might be confused, because it didn't come with a Chanel dust bag or something. So I just wanted to make it very clear where it came from. And then also in the description where I said what the bag comes with, I said that it came with a Luxury Promise dust bag, specifically Luxury Promise dust bag. And then I said it came with an authenticity card and it came with the barcode sticker and stuff like that. So the first issue that I had with Vestiaire Collective is that I had no idea, no clue that the moderator team, when you go to sell an item, you put in the description, you do all of that, and then it gets submitted. And then the moderation team has to go in and verify the listing, basically approve the listing to go available on the website. which was fine. I didn't have any issue with that. But I had no idea that they could go in and change my description. They could delete stuff, they could change stuff around, they could add new words that I didn't put. And I didn't notice that. I've never, ever had a situation where a third-party reseller or like a luxury reseller, Poshmark, and eBay for sure, they just can't go in and change your description, especially without telling you. Vestiaire Collective did not tell me that they had to make a couple updates to my description. So, and I didn't check. I didn't know that could even happen. So by the time my bag sold, I went back just to make sure everything was good. I happened to go back to the listing and I looked at everything, and then I looked at the description again and I was like, this looks weird. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, did I forget to put on here that this was sold by Luxury Promise? Did I forget to include the Luxury Promise dust bag? Like, I was so confused. But then I noticed that they completely removed the section where I stated that it was purchased from Luxury Promise in 2022. And they removed completely where I put included, like in the included section, Luxury Promise dust bag. They replaced Luxury Promise dust bag when I said bag comes with blank Luxury Promise dust bag. They removed that and put deluxe dust bag. Like, they just put deluxe dust bag, remove Luxury Promise, okay? They kept authenticity card and they kept like the barcode or whatever, but literally any mention of it being from Luxury Promise was removed without my knowledge. I had no idea that they had taken that out. Me, having sold this bag, I was very happy that it sold. I shipped it off. It got to the Vestiaire Collective people, right? And they were doing their quality check on it. So they sent me an email eventually, and they told me, hey, we found some discrepancies between what your description said and what we received from the bag. They said that it was missing the authenticity card. When I had first messaged the chat team, I made a mistake. I said that there was nowhere in my description that I mentioned having an authenticity card, which is completely my fault. For some reason, I had just forgot that I even put authenticity card in there, but I went back and I saw that I did include comes with authenticity card, right? So I apologized to the girl for saying that I didn't put that in there, but then I said it is included. I put it in there. And what I was talking about, oh, I have it in the back here. What I was talking about was this. This is the authenticity card that I received. Now, I guess it is my fault for not saying Chanel authenticity card, but the thing is that the verification person, like Rose, right here, the one that did my authentication on this handbag, couldn't have known that it was from Luxury Promise because the moderator in the beginning that completely changed my description removed the fact that it was from Luxury Promise. So when the verification person got my handbag and they saw this in there, they were probably like, what the hell is that? And this is the authenticity card that I received in the mail when I initially purchased this handbag from Luxury Promise. Please keep this card safe. It's unique to your purchase and guarantees that your item has been authenticated by the experts at Luxury Promise and gives a reference number. Now, maybe it was my fault for using the word authenticity card. I assumed that this kind of replaced the authenticity card, like the original one, because of course this is a vintage bag. I'm not the first owner. When Luxury Promise got this bag from the previous person that had it, they didn't have the authenticity card. That's why Luxury Promise included this. If it came with the original Chanel authenticity card, I would have received the original Chanel authenticity card when I purchased the bag, because it would have been included. The person that sold Luxury Promise this bag did not have the authenticity card, and I don't think had the box or the dust bag, because the dust bag, again, that I received was a Luxury Promise dust bag, not a Chanel dust bag. The verification person was saying it's missing the authenticity card. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to message somebody from support, right? I'm trying to chat with somebody. They have no phone number. You can't call anybody. You cannot speak to anybody unless they call you. So I can only do chat. I messaged somebody and I was like, hey, this is my issue. The authenticity card says it's missing, but it's in there. So this girl says, okay, well, I'll escalate it to my team. But the verification team had already let the buyer know that there's no authenticity card. Like, they gave no time whatsoever between saying that the authenticity card was missing and telling the buyer that the authenticity card was missing. They deemed the bag to be real, which of course I know it's real, but so the buyer, rightfully so, was expecting the authenticity card. And in my mind, this is the authenticity card. This is what I received from Luxury Promise. I kept all of my belongings from Luxury Promise that I received when I got the bag. The buyer cancels the order. They're like, nope, cancels the order. I have the option of either relisting the bag under my account, and they'll just keep the bag at the Vestiaire Collective warehouse. So if it sells again, I won't need to ship it. They'll just ship it directly from the hub, right? Also, I need to mention, I'm kind of just getting confused because so much happened. I accepted an offer on this handbag. I initially had the handbag at a certain price, and then someone put in an offer and I accepted that offer. One other thing that I need to say regarding the whole chat system is absolutely terrible, because when you start a chat, when you initiate a chat, you get assigned one person. Like, it becomes a case basically, and you get assigned one person and you cannot start another chat with anybody else. And you're just stuck with them throughout the entire process, throughout the entire situation as to your issue. And if they're off work, good luck. You don't hear from them for a whole day. If they're on break, good luck. You don't hear from them. And I assume that they have other clients, like other people that they're working with too. So I pretty much knew that I wasn't the only person that this representative at Vestiaire Collective was trying to help. And no shit to the representative at Vestiaire Collective. She actually did a fine job. Like, it was okay. She didn't do anything wrong. She was just doing her job, and I wasn't actually mad at her. I was just mad at the whole situation. I was mad at how they handled everything, because I was not included in anything with this whole situation. Like, they didn't let me know that the authenticity card was missing. They didn't let me know missing. It wasn't missing. I had this. I gave it to them. They were just expecting to get a Chanel authenticity card. They didn't tell me that they had changed my description. They didn't tell me anything. And also, on Vestiaire Collective, you cannot edit your own description. Once you type it in and it gets approved by the moderation team, you cannot go in and re-edit. The only thing you can do is drop the price. You have to message somebody, like one of the customer care people, and they edit your description for you. You just are stuck out in the ether and you have no support. You can't call anybody. You're stuck with this one person. You can't open a new chat or talk to anybody else. I was trying to get them to, like, okay, what can you let the buyer know that the bag is real? Because literally nowhere on the quality check does it say bag deemed to be authentic. Like, it literally just said missing authenticity card. Maybe it's different from the buyer's perspective. Like, maybe Vestiaire Collective tells the buyer directly that the bag is deemed authentic, but they're just missing something. But on my end, nowhere on there does it say the bag was deemed to be authentic. It just said missing authenticity card. So in my mind, I'm like, well, the buyer probably thinks that I'm a fake. The buyer probably thinks that I'm trying to scam them. The buyer probably thinks that this bag is like a super fake or something. And the chat person that I spoke to said, no, don't worry. They deemed the bag to be authentic. And I'm like, well, why doesn't it say that anywhere? Like, why doesn't it say that the bag was deemed to be authentic? So the sale ends up falling through. I decided to go ahead and just relist it on the website. I knew that I was still getting offers on this bag. I knew it was popular, so I was like, well, you know what, maybe it'll sell again and then there won't be an issue anymore. Eventually she gets back with me and she says, well, the escalations team and the verification team deemed this authenticity card to not be a valid authenticity card. And she's like, well, it's not a Chanel authenticity card. And I'm like, of course, I know it's not a Chanel authenticity card. I bought it from Luxury Promise. It's a vintage bag. Luxury Promise doesn't even have the original Chanel authenticity card. Like, I put in the description and included what I received from the company, that Luxury Promise, when I bought it. And she said, well, the verification team doesn't deem this to be a valid form of authentication. And I'm like, what the fuck? So she says that we can update your description to remove the fact that you have an authenticity card, and we just won't send it. Like, we'll just remove it. I think that's just being way too nitpicky, because like with these vintage pieces, you cannot assume that every single person is going to have the original authenticity card. card. Anyways, they updated the description by saying it was purchased by a third-party reseller, and they removed the fact that the authenticity card was there. And at this point I was like, whatever, just as long as it sells, whatever, I don't care. But what they did is they relisted this bag for the price that the buyer initially offered it for. Like, offered for it. They did not put it back at the price that I listed it for. They relisted this bag at the lower price that the buyer offered for the bag. I'm not gonna say the real numbers or anything, but let's just pretend that I put this bag up for $5,000. I didn't, but let's just say I did. Let's just say that the buyer sent me an offer for $4,300. I accepted that offer. And then when all this shit went down, everything happened, Vestiaire Collective did not put my bag back up for sale for $5,000, my initial price. They put it for the lower price of $4,300. Again, without telling me. Like, they didn't say, okay, do you want the bag to be relisted for the offer price that was accepted, or do you want it to be relisted at the original price that you put it at? They just put it for the lower price. So I was over here getting offers for much lower than I was willing to sell this bag for. So I was trying to message the person that I was speaking to this whole time, and I was like, please increase the price. Like, you can change the description, change the price, put the price up to what I normally had it at. And it took her like 6 hours to respond to me, and she was like, oh, sorry, we can't change the price. We can only put the price for what it was sold for. She said the only way you can change the price is if we sent the bag back to you and you relisted it. And at this point I said, you know what? Send me the bag back. Send it back. I'll try to resell it somewhere else. They sent me the bag back, and then they all have the audacity to be like, did you have a good experience with us? Oh, and also, let me just tell you what I received when I got the bag back. So of course I got the authenticity card. I got the little barcode thing that it came with, this thing, these right here. I got these back. But let me tell you what they didn't send back to me. They did not send back my Luxury Promise dust bag. I mean, it's fine, I guess, but they sent me a Chanel dust bag. So what they were gonna do is they were just gonna they threw away probably the Luxury Promise dust bag, and they put this in a Chanel dust bag, which is fine, I guess. But I would have liked to have both back. Again, they didn't tell me anything. They didn't say, okay, well, do you want it shipped back in the Luxury Promise dust bag, or do you want us to just give you the Chanel dust bag? Nope, of course, I don't get asked. I don't get contacted or anything like that. So now I don't have the Luxury Promise dust bag anymore. I have this one. And I mean, this one's fine because it's a Chanel dust bag, I guess, but I would have liked to have my other one as well, you know? It was just this whole thing was a shit show. So that has been my story time. Needless to say, I'm never selling with Vestiaire Collective ever again. Again, like, I'm sure many of you have sold on Vestiaire Collective. Probably people you know have sold on Vestiaire Collective, and they've had a great experience. And that's great. I don't want to take that away from them, because I'm sure my experience was like a one-off experience. Like, I'm sure that this doesn't happen very often. My experience just happened to be on the bad side. I'm not trying to say that Vestiaire Collective is a shitty company or a horrible company, because I just don't think that's true. I think that just my situation that I had was a bad situation. But anyways, that's been my video for today. I have never done like a story time or like a drama-y type video before, but also to let you know, I am of course currently selling this bag again. It is listed on my Poshmark and it's listed on my eBay. I will have them both linked in the description if you are interested. She is a beautiful 96 vintage Chanel classic flap, and she has an organizer in here that I bought myself. And then she will come with the authenticity card, this thing that I've been showing this whole time, and with the barcode and everything, and it will come with the new Chanel dust bag that I have, because I don't have the Luxury Promise one anymore. Okay, I need to wrap this video up because my camera has already overheated once and it's probably gonna overheat again. But you guys, that's been my experience with Vestiaire Collective. Let me know in the comments if you've ever sold through them, what your experience was like, if you've ever had any issues or anything like that, or if you had a fantastic experience. Let me know that as well, because I'd love to hear about the good side of Vestiaire Collective too. I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you did enjoy it. If you did, then go ahead and click up the like button for me and then subscribe if you want to, and be sure to ding a little bell down there so you're notified every time I upload. And you guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!